Hey guys, how's it going? Crunchy here, welcome back to another video. So today, I thought I'd try something different for an upload. I am still ill by the way, so I apologise for that in advance, but I thought I'd try and tell you guys a story. So I've got so many stories in my life, I would like to share them with you guys because I feel like other than the Q&A series, I don't really have a series that engages, you know, like me and you guys, and I don't know, I thought it'd be quite an awesome way to sort of interact with you guys, let you guys sort of see what happens, I guess, other than the video side of my channel. So I'm not really too sure, but I thought I'd give this a go. If you guys don't like it, just let me know, but I think it's going to be a pretty nice thing to do. Let's go ahead and kick this video off with the first story. So this one was going back around 7 or 8 years ago, and I was around 11 or 12 years old, so bear in mind I'm 19 now, so it was, like I said, around 7 or 8 years ago, and this is probably one of the biggest things that happened to me up to this point. I think there was something that happened in year 6 or year 5, but I mean, apart from that, like, injury-wise, this is, I guess, the biggest thing for me. So I thought I would share it with you guys today because it's quite a nice story, I guess. Not, well, I say nice, it's not really a nice story, but I guess it's quite interesting for you guys to listen to, and I guess to kick off this little series. So let's get straight into this. Like I said, I was around 11, 12 years old, and at the time, I really enjoyed scootering and skating. I had a skateboard, bike and scooter. Couldn't really master anything with a bike because at the time I was small, obviously, and bikes at the time seemed so heavy and huge for me, so that never happened. But scooters and skateboards I could do. I was more on the scooter side because I found it easier to control. But it doesn't, I'm not doing this to make a debate on which one's better, because at the time I just did whatever. I rode whatever, I didn't really care. It's just a hobby, and every single day after school I would go out with around 4, 5, maybe 6 of my friends, and we would go out to the skate park, we'd go to his house and just skate around there. We had these like mini ramps, we'd make our own ramps and all that stuff. So, you know, we had the whole shebang going on. We would just meet up every day after school, weekends as well, obviously. I was too young to have a job. And one day we met up after school, went to his house, or outside his house, and the curbs around there are huge. They were like 30, 40 centimetre high curbs. I don't know why they were so big, but they just were. And it was a small neighbourhood, so it wasn't very busy. It was a quiet area, and the neighbourhood was small, so it was a perfect place to do it. So we thought we'd set up one of our mini ramps. The ramp we were using was probably around 20 to 30 centimetres in height, so nearly around the same height as the actual curb itself. So we would scoot along the footpath, jump off near the curb, obviously just before the curb so you don't fall off, and go down the ramp. And we'd keep moving it away, doing like challenges. We set it up, I think, around 50 centimetres away at the beginning, and then I think at the end, when I actually hurt myself, it was around near enough a metre away from the curb. Obviously, it was a long time ago, I can't remember exactly, but that's what it felt like at the time. So pretty much what happened was, it was my turn to do it. And bear in mind, like I said, there was about 5 or 6 of us there. We were all going one at a time. Everyone was watching us, obviously, take our turn. So the pressure was on at this point. We don't want to make a fool of ourselves in front of our friends, and we wanted to, obviously, not chicken out. So I would do it. To be honest, I wasn't scared because we'd already done it a couple of times practice, and it seemed okay at the closer distances. But when it got further and further away, obviously, as you would expect, it became harder. So the final time, this is the final time as well, because after I hurt myself, I didn't go back. I was doing it, I scooted along, jumped, went down the ramp, super, super happy because I made it, and I was rolling, and I was like, yes. All my friends were just like, yeah, yeah, and then I was just like, awesome, I didn't fall. Then a car came round the corner. It was like it wasn't on a corner because that'd be stupid, but it wasn't a straight bit of road, but there was a corner at the end of it. And a car came round, we saw it in perfect timing and all that stuff, but because I saw the car and tried to move out of the road, obviously, so it could pass, I hit a stone. And as you know, scooter wheels aren't exactly huge. They're not like bikes, you can't just ride over it and expect no damage. The stone lodged the wheel, so it locks, and I was like, oh damn, like, I'm going down, because I couldn't move the scooter at all. Like, obviously the wheel got stuck, so I just flung forward. And at the time, because like I said, I was into scootering, I was modding my scooter, making it my own. I ordered some new grips, ODI grips to be specific, and I was waiting for them to arrive. So the bar was currently, you know, without grips on it. It was just a plain solid silver bar. And where it had obviously been used a lot, and where I'd used it and dropped it and whatever on the pavement, the end of the bars were like rigid, I guess, and just sort of like damaged and a bit bashed up, which is, you know, what you expect. And the bar, this might sound a bit gross for some of you guys, the bar actually went through my neck, like not my neck, but through my skin to my collarbone. And the majority of where it went through was underneath the collarbone, but the top part of the bar just hit the top of the collarbone. So I was so lucky right then. I was like, Oh my gosh, because if that had gone maybe about 10 centimeters, maybe even 5 centimeters lower, or, you know, more right towards my neck, so it was on my left collarbone, or the left side of my body, I probably, you know, at the worst could have been dead, or, you know, at least have just had some nerve damage or permanent body damage. I could have, like, punched a lung. Anything like that could have happened, which is so scary thinking about it now, because at the time, I was just like, wow, you know, thank God that I'm not more injured. I mean, my friend, like, ran into his house, got his mum, and I had to have an ice pack and get it cleaned up, and obviously what you expect, I don't want it to get infected and all that gammy stuff, but it was pretty scary. It wasn't painful to what I remember, because it was just straight to the bone. As you guys know, the collarbone, the skin's right there, so it wasn't really that much flesh to go through, so the pain wasn't that bad. I have a pretty good pain threshold as it is, so it wasn't too bad for me, but it was just, I think, the overall shock of what just happened, and the fact that the person in the car saw it as well, and it was just like, they got out and they're like, you okay? And I was just like, yeah, I'll be fine. Obviously, I don't want to start crying in front of all my friends and all that stuff, but like I said, it didn't really hurt. I think it was honestly more shock and embarrassment than anything else. But the next day in school, obviously I went home and that evening. I was okay, didn't pass out or anything like that. But I went to school the next day and I showed the teacher. I was like, look what happened to my neck yesterday. And they were like, you do realise that, you know, that could have like actually like fractured your collarbone, or if it was lower you could have been like really like permanently damaged, or, you know, like something could have broke or been punched, like I said, like my lung before. And I was just like, at the time, like I said, I wasn't really thinking about the bigger picture, because it was just like, wow, I'm so glad that I wasn't hurt anymore. But they were right, you know, if that had gone any lower, like I said before, I really could have been like permanently damaged, or I don't even want to say it, but it could have been rip crunchy. There never would have been a crunchy. And I know, of course, the chance of that actually happening would have been very slim, but if the bar had gone down, like I said, a little bit further, it could have caused some severe damage. So I'm so grateful to this day that it hasn't, and just to have a scar only is, like I said, I'm just so grateful for it. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I have a ton more of these stories to share with you guys. I have a couple more skating accidents as well if you want to hear those in another video. So just let me know down below, guys. Chuck it a massive thumbs up if you have enjoyed. But thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you guys in my next video.
Life is rough, I can't say that shit enough, but ain't no giving up when the going gets tough. I'm only 18, having trials and tribulations like I'm 30. Devil put me through it early, down this world so dirty. Hurricanes couldn't cleanse.